Members of the Commission of Inquiry into the matter of Faraba Banter, where a standoff between elements of the and residents spiraled into violence, leaving 3 people dead and several others wounded. The 6-member commission is tasked with establishing the circumstances leading to the violence, its aftermath, and the conduct of the police. As we hear in this report by Mamadou Diallo, the incident shocked the country and led to the resignation of the Inspector General of Police.
6-member commission of inquiry into the Faraba incident is chaired by renowned human rights lawyer and activist Emmanuel Diouf. Other members include a representative of the Gambia Bar Association, Nene MC Cham, seasoned security operative Omar Cham, respected for his investigative prowess, Lieutenant Yusuf Jara of the Gambia National Army, and Charles Njai, who is the secretary to the commission. They also want to discharge their responsibilities faithfully, impartially, and with integrity. The commission has the task of establishing the truth into the Faraba incident, which seriously degenerated into violence, leaving 3 young people dead and several others wounded. The incident shocked the nation and the president, who now wants a complete investigation into the events that led to the standoff.
This swearing ceremony will allow us to follow the right process in order to establish the truth, and thereafter take the right decision and a well-informed course of action. I believe very strongly that it is only the truth that can free the people of Faraba Banter from their troubles and allow them to reconcile their differences as a community. On the other hand, it is vital that those who committed human rights abuses and other crimes are brought to justice.
The chairs of members, according to the Lieutenant General and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Tambidu, gives the Commission the credibility to undertake their assigned task with fairness and justice.
The choice of members of this commission and the chairperson, Mr. Emmanuel Daniel Diouf, who has had, I have to say, an unblemished record of dedication and commitment to respect for human rights in this country, demonstrates the commitment of your government to conduct an independent, fair, and impartial inquiry into the Faraba Banter incident, and that this exercise will not be a mere whitewash.
The Commission Chair, Emmanuel Diouf, acknowledged the enormity of the task at hand, but also that they are up to the challenge, trying to establish the truth about the incident and offer recommendations to prevent a reoccurrence.
We have observed that you have also given us the mandate to recommend measures to prevent the recurrence of the circumstances, not only in what happened in Faraba Banter, but also in other parts of the country, the hotspots, the potential hotspots. I want to assure Your Excellency that we will carry out this assignment diligently and independently. And we will do everything within our given mandate to get to the bottom of the issues. And we will submit a comprehensive report with recommendation to Your Excellency.
The President assured them of his government's support, ruling out any form of political interference, but urged discipline and honesty. He also called on the community of Faraba to cooperate with the Commission to enable them successfully complete their mandate.
The provision of credible information and pointers by those associated with the case is essential for the success of this Commission. In this light, I call upon all those affected to give the Commission the necessary support and collaboration to enable it to undertake these sensitive tasks successfully.
The Commission will have 1 month to complete their work before submitting a report to the President for action. Meanwhile, the Executive Director of the Constitutional Review Commission, Usman Omar Job, was also sworn in. Mr. Job is a specialist in various fields and will lead the process of reviewing the 1997 Constitution, which many argue centralizes too much power in the executive, thus weakening state institutions and rendering them largely ineffective. Mamadou Diallo, GRTS News.
And to news just in, a major breakdown at the Banjul-Bara ferry crossing point. This as the Kanilai ferry runs cuts off at sea when it was about to land offload passengers and vehicles. The breakdown occurred when a truck from the ferry was offloading. The truck is neither in or out of the ferry. The situation at the Banjul ferry terminal looks worrisome as hundreds of passengers wait to cross to the other side of the river. The First Lady, Her Excellency, Madam Fatuba Barrow, accompanied by the Minister of Health and Social Welfare and other senior government officials, recently visited the Bundung Maternal and Child Health Hospital as part of efforts to support women and children in the drive to promote health. Kumbaba tells us more.
Dr. Ture and other senior government officials visited the Bundung Maternal and Child Health Hospital as part of ongoing interventions to support the welfare of women and children. Upon her arrival at the hospital, the CEO, Keba Mane, took the party on a conducted tour of various wards in the hospital. Mr. Mane took time to explain some of the daily activities they undertake to offer effective healthcare service delivery to the populace. Madam Barbaro acknowledged the crucial role the hospital continues to render to women and children, adding that health is a top priority area for the new government, while assuring her foundation's commitment and readiness to reach out to the less privileged in society.
Every parent should take extra attention to the health facilities so you will know whether your child is going or not. That's the basic thing that we need to know. And the meeting of that particular
Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Ture, also expressed gratitude and outlined her support and commitment to work with health officials for the realization of the set health goals as enshrined in the National Development Plan.
Almost 85% of what I've seen, if this is replicated across the whole country, we can do the conscience of it. I believe that if we talk of planning and the commitment to do so, we may be able to do it phase by phase. I'm not promising people that I'm going to give them everything 100%, but to the time I am interested, and to the time I work with the people, work with the technicians, work with looking at different cases. This is my vision.
First Lady's visit to Bundung Hospital is a clear manifestation of her strong commitment to improve the welfare of women and children, as she moves to put her foundation at the forefront of the drive to promote a healthy nation. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Kumar.
The Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources on Thursday launched the National Climate Change Policy document at a local hotel. As Uminjai reports, the document seeks to address emerging climate threats and find means of tackling them.
National environmentalists have convened to launch the National Climate Change Policy document recently approved by Cabinet after a thorough scrutiny. Experts and top officials in the climate change business are now looking forward to mainstreaming climate change in the Gambia's National Development Plan. After the launch of this document, the next step is the development of institutional arrangements for coordination to mainstream climate change issues. The vital policy document will focus on 4 thematic areas.
So, in effect, we are coming with this policy. We are coming up with institutional arrangements that will ensure that climate change is mainstreamed into our sector development plans, so that no one sector can actually tackle climate change.
Climate change being one of the most threatening issues faced by the continent, environmental officials in the Gambia aim to move speedily to build climate resilience as a tool to enhance sustainable development in the country.
It is based on the principles of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and first, it has to be equity, common but differentiated responsibility and respective capacities, precautionary principles, sustainable development, intergenerational equity, principle of cooperation, and environmental justice.
Developed at a time of accelerated climate changes ranging from decreased agricultural production and increased social vulnerability, among many other challenges, the policy document will strictly work towards addressing the problems posed by shifting weather conditions.
Climate change responses should be guided by proactive planning that is based on credible scientific information, and this is very important. You can never plan. You can never plan without credible data, and this is very, very important. Research and technology for innovation and effective response will be prioritized. Duty to maintain a decent environment is the responsibility of every Gambian to ensure that your environment is decent.
The policy represents the Gambia's commitment to climate resilience and steps taken to encourage sustainable growth that will not affect the environment.
For me, environment is the most important portfolio in the economy. Because without it, you cannot talk about business. You cannot talk about economic development, the health bills. If we deplete all our ozone layer, we are exposed to skin cancer. If our water systems are polluted, we're likely to have a sick population. If our air quality is not good, we're likely to have a sick population. So the production and productivity of our country will go down.
Environmentalists are moving to ensure that climate change responses are guided by effective data amid efforts to maximize and streamline ecological factors in the most important aspects of the Gambian economy. Emin Jai, GRPS.
A network distribution cable belonging to Gamtel have been reportedly destroyed by unknown people in pipeline, causing damage to more than 200 customers in the area. Maudulamin Sane has the rest of that story.
Gamtel officials have raised serious concern over the damage of their underground cables in the pipeline vicinity. The cutting of these telephone network cables by an unknown person was brought to their notice after customers in the area complained of poor network experience.
When we came around, we found out that the cable, underground cable inside the manhole was cut. So what we did was we tried to restore that area. That is the first manhole which was cut. That place was restored yesterday. Then last night again, they came around, cut all the cables around this end within 3 manholes. That rendered all the customers around this end not having their internet and telephone services virtually not working as well.
4 main network distribution channels connecting to 200 customers were completely destroyed.
We just restored this area last 2 months. We restored it. Customers started coming on board, and now again they have started it. This is a service that they are enjoying. The moment they cut the cable, they lose their service, and the service is prepaid.
It's a very unfortunate situation that somebody would just come in and, do multiple damages on our network infrastructure. I think it's a loss to Gamtel, it's a loss to the customers, and it's a loss to the nation.
Senior officials at the telecommunication company described the incident as a major disappointment amid efforts to provide quality service to their customers.
Their service will be interrupted, no doubt. And if that happens, it will cause inconvenience to our customers. But also the fact that the person who has done this act has not taken away the cable. He has just decided to do the damage, destroy the infrastructure, and just leave it like this. It's something that is very worrying.
Gamtel is now looking forward to working closely with the public and police to get to the bottom of the matter as investigation continues. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Maudulamin Sane.
The United States of America on July 4th celebrated its 242nd independence anniversary at a reception organized by the U.S. Embassy in Banjul. Sise Sawane covered the event, graced by cabinet ministers, members of the diplomatic corps, and Mandela Washington Fellows, among other dignitaries. The U.S. Ambassador to the Gambia, C. Patricia Alsop, has disclosed that her office will soon launch a $1 million transitional justice program to support civil society organizations, strengthen the work of the Truth, Reconciliation, and Reparation Commission. She was speaking at a reception dinner marking the 242nd independence anniversary of the United States of America in Banjul. She also disclosed that bilateral trade between the two countries has been restored.
The Gambia's eligibility for the African Growth and Opportunity Act, or AGOA, was restored this past year. This means that Gambian goods can be exported duty-free to the United States. We expect that this will be a boon to private sector growth here and that we will soon see significant growth in bilateral trade.
Ambassador Alsop, however, challenged Gambians to exercise patience as democracy and development takes time.
The Gambia is still a work in progress and it must be allowed to heal and build the necessary foundations. Even in my own country, after 242 years, we are still working to achieve our ideals.
The Vice President, Ousseynou Dabo, noted that the Gambia will endeavor to respect the principles of human rights and the rule of law. He noted that Banjul and Washington will continue to forge closer collaboration for mutual benefit.
We will, as a government, ensure that we nurture the demonstrated international goodwill and that we will not become a disappointment to the international community. We will continue to count on our friendship with America in the journey that always has you as a trusted partner and benevolent supporter. As a young democracy, the Gambia will continue to be committed to the principles of human rights and good governance, of freedom and respect for the rule of law, that are so fundamental to our common vision. We will continue to knock on your doors to learn and to be inspired.
The celebration was also characterized by the solo beats of jazz by the Blues Brothers. The unique American style of music in the 1900s played a transformative role in America's movement for social justice and equality. For the news, I am Sisi Sawane. The U.S. Ambassador to the Gambia, Patricia Alsop, has urged lawmakers to step up efforts in the anti-corruption legislation. The American ambassador made the remarks at the opening of a two-day anti-corruption seminar for Gambian lawmakers. Samuel Ba reports.
The anti-corruption workshop for Gambian lawmakers was organized to discuss how corruption and issues of non-transparency can be effectively addressed. The initiative is jointly organized by the International Republican Institute and the Center for International Private Enterprise.
It's been organized to create understanding of the impact of corruption on the Gambia and its citizens, to recognize the various ways corruption manifests itself, as well as increase knowledge among the National Assembly members about anti-corruption global standards and best practices.
The meeting is therefore expected to assess and develop common understanding of risks associated with corruption, its causes, and also identify potential anti-corruption strategies. The majority leader at the National Assembly, Honorable Keba K. Barrows, said it is an opportune moment for Gambian lawmakers.
Usually, in societies where corruption is the order of the day, public office becomes a tool for personal gains as development funds are diverted into channels that satisfy only personal interests, and it also allows inefficiency to persist and distorts the potential gains for growth.
Donald Ide is a renowned anti-corruption trainer.
The purpose of this training is twofold. First of all, we wish to empower you with the information, with the knowledge, and the tools with which to fight the menace of corruption, which has retarded development of this continent, which is old and at the same time very new.
The U.S. Ambassador to the Gambia, Patricia Alsop, said corruption is the enemy of development and must not be left unchecked. Ambassador Alsop noted that lawmakers should be at the forefront of anti-corruption legislation.
The promise of a new Gambia should not be derailed by allowing corruption to fester. Cases abound from around the world where fledgling democracies were crippled because corruption went unchecked. The Gambia has been given an opportunity to write a new chapter in its history.
and the United States government and other development partners are willing to provide the requisite tools and resources.
The two-day workshop is expected to trigger a lot of reflections and formulate concrete recommendations on how to mitigate the risk of corruption in the Gambia. Samuel Bach, GRTS.
CAF Africa Global and Hino International Foundation, in partnership with the Gambia Federation for the Disabled and Bliss Executive, on Wednesday launched the Gambia Disability Impact Trust Fund. The fund seeks to provide persons with disabilities access to finance and harness their business skills for a better livelihood. Usman Mane reports.
The MOU, Embrete Gambia, will take charge of the training in business skills. The chairman, Hino International Foundation, Dr. Karamo Songo, said the objective of the trust fund is to provide credit facilities, alleviate poverty, and increase self-employability of persons with disabilities.
Disability multiplier, said, is of great interest to me, because if you bring somebody who is out there, has been ruled out by society or by himself or herself, and empower that person, for a number of reasons, the multiplier benefits in the economy, in the society, may be much more than an able person who is willingly out there deciding that he is not going to participate actively in society and in the economy. So the helping disabled, I do believe that is of particular importance in our society and in our economy.
The Managing Director and Chief Executive, CAF Africa Global, Mustafa Njai, explained that his organization is committed to social and economic inclusion of all persons. He hoped the initiative would help address inequality.
We intend to put our own monies into it from Dr. Karamo's foundation, which is Hino Foundation, and my foundation, which is CAF Africa Foundation, and then to help the physically challenged. We hope that this will go even beyond the borders of this country. It's a way of giving back. As perceived successful sons of this country, we think it's one way of giving back to society.
The president of Gambia Federation of Disabled, Mohamed Kurbali, gave a brief background of the federation and its activities over the years. He noted that the fund would provide economic independence and self-reliance to people with disabilities.
One of the reasons of why it is also established is to make sure that people with disabilities are trained with skills, the requisite skills, and acquire knowledge in the areas that they are interested in order to make us at least independent, to make us self-reliant.
Speaking on behalf of the beneficiaries, Lamin Sise and Desen thanked the benefactors for their generosity and promised to judiciously use the fund. Usman Mane, GRTS.
Time now to take our first commercial break, but News Beyond Our Borders is next. Welcome back to GRTS News. The world is facing unprecedented changes, some of which BRICS nations are looking to solve. During a session in Johannesburg on promoting innovation in global governance, delegates are looking at the role multilateralism plays in member economies. CGTN's Yolisa Njamila has more from Johannesburg.
The one-day seminar packed over 100 senior officials and think tanks from the BRICS countries. It's aimed at promoting the institutionalization of BRICS experiences in governance and expand exchange and cooperation. Delegates attending the meeting hope to share experiences on how to build effective global governance. Many here agree that governance should be prioritized in addressing challenges of development.
We still have to see a metaphor of political conversation which seeks to give coherence to an alternative voice to the voice that is hegemonizing the world order at the moment. We face today the task of addressing the challenges that are facing the world governance system, and which ought to be seen to be addressing these challenges in ways that are coherent.
The leaders here agreed that multilateralism remains a key policy for the BRICS formation.
We respect the diversity of the world. Multilateralism is the kind of hallmark needed. Countries should uphold the banner of multilateralism. We must maintain a multilateral trading system, strengthen coordination in macroeconomic policies, and stay committed to reforming global economic governance. The world is diverse in nature, and unity and diversity is key. All countries are equal in their sovereignty, opportunity, etc. We can learn from each other.
The theme of the conference this year is contributing BRICS wisdom to global governance in the interest of the people. The discussions from this seminar will be featured in the Leadership Summit that is due to take place here at the Sentin Convention Center later this month. Yulisa Njamela for CGT and in Johannesburg, South Africa.
Well, before we end this newscast, a look once again at our headlines. President Barrow has presided over the swearing-in of members of the Commission of Inquiry investigating the recent Faraba Banta incident. The Gambia has launched a national climate change policy document to combat emerging climate threats. U.S. Ambassador in Banjul has urged lawmakers to step up efforts in the anti-corruption legislation. And delegates at the BRICS Summit are looking at multilateralism in member economies to promote innovation in global governance. Well, that's all in this edition of the news. We thank you for the pleasure of your company and have a good night.